here at LadyCakes Bakery, and I'm with Bess Charles, and we're going to talk a little bit about what LadyCakes is all about in Cape Coral. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your story? How did LadyCakes get started?
So I have been creating cakes as the owner of LadyCakes Bakery for nearly 20 years at this point. I started in my home as an at-home baker. As a mom of very young children, I needed something creative as an outlet to do at home instead of just
Hmm.
talking baby talk all day. So I began to do cakes at home. It really snowballed very quickly. So it became a bit much at home. It took over my home and I needed a separate space. My husband was in restaurant management, and I remember vividly he came home one night and said, "What's for dinner?" And I had sugar and flour and babies running around with diapers, and it was just chaos. I realized that I needed a separate space for work versus at home. So
Right.
in 2014, we took a leap of faith. He quit his job and we opened our first location, and we were both jobless for about 6 months. And it
Well,
was the scariest thing we've ever done. But fast forward 11 years, here we are.
was baking always a part of your story, or was it something that sort of just evolved?
Yeah, it just sort of evolved. I went to college for criminal justice with a minor in psychology.
So baking was sort of your therapy.
Yeah, it most certainly was. My junior year, I got an internship with the FBI, and that's what I was going to do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And
Any regrets?
life happened. No, no. I think that's one thing about me in particular is that I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants, and I'm not the person to pull the reins, and I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad life took me here.
I love it. So let's talk a little bit about the heart of Lady Cakes. Give us tell us a little bit about the heart or the mission.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a family-owned business. We are a very small knit family that work here. And one thing we've strived to do over the years is not just create cakes, but create memories and build lasting relationships with all of our clients. So it's what really sets us apart. We're doing more than providing a product or a service.
Right.
We're creating a relationship with all of our customers.
What else makes you a little bit different from other bakeries in the area or in Southwest Florida?
It really all comes down to the feel. You
Yeah.
know, we start a relationship with a cake, but then it creates part of a family. We have created cakes for many families starting at a wedding, and now we're creating their children's wedding cakes.
Yeah.
So over the last 20 years that we've been creating cakes, we've really been on a journey of growth with these families that have come into our business.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So when people walk into the door, it is just a great feeling. It smells so good and it feels so good. What do you hope they feel when they walk in and when they bring a box home?
Nostalgia.
I love that. So you talked a lot about cakes. What are some of your most loved or best selling items?
So our signature salted caramel pretzel is our most popular.
I can't eat it, but I can bring one home for Patrick.
Yeah, so our salted caramel pretzel, it's our most popular, both cupcake flavor and cake flavor.
Mm.
That has been our most popular for quite some time. Outside of cakes and cupcakes, our chocolate chip cookies, ours is really fantastic.
So, are there items that you have like a special story behind them?
I mean, there's a lot, but I would say probably the most fascinating story is my husband and I, we've been married 21 years at this point.
Yeah.
And we somehow have the same peanut butter cookie recipe that was handed down through our generation. So my grandmother's recipe and his grandmother's recipe are like exactly the same. So it's kind of extraordinary that we both have the same thing. And we do sell them in store every day.
That's one cookie that's not too hard to get gluten free. So, if someone's never been to Lady Cakes, what should they try first? Chocolate chip cookie or the salted caramel?
But one of the new additions that we've started to carry here at this new location is mini key lime pies. And being here in Florida, key lime pie, it's one of those things that people will search all of Southwest Florida to find the best ones.
Yeah.
So I challenge you to try our key lime pie and see how it ranks.
What do you love most about owning a business in Cape Coral?
Cape Coral, as far as land mass, is huge. Land mass here in Cape Coral, but it's very small. Everyone knows
Small town
everyone,
community
right?
feel.
We do really have that close knit community family vibe here in Cape Coral. And it's something that surprises me over and over again
Yeah.
because of how large Cape Coral actually is, that we still manage to create that atmosphere.
And I don't even know if we've ever really met in person, but
Yeah, I
I've
don't
known
know.
you forever
I
on
know.
Facebook, and
I
we've
know.
been COVID, business owners, and kind
Yeah.
of come up through the ranks at the same time. And I feel like you're part of my Cape Coral family. So, how does the local community help support you along the way as you grow your business? Hurts and pandemics, and
I feel like from the very start of Lady Cakes, the community has really backed and supported our business, not only in the growth, but just overall support. When we all have, I think it comes all the way back to the sense of community. And when one of our own is struggling, we try to support. And throughout the 20 years that we've been doing this, anytime we've ever reached out or anytime we've ever been vocal and saying, hey, things are hard right now,
right.
the community really jumps back behind. We've really strived over the amount of time to give back to our local community and help our local nonprofits and help our local organizations. So for them to give back to us when we need it most is really special.
And I love that about Cape Coral myself. What surprised you most about being a bakery owner?
So I've done a lot in the past professionally before I owned Lady Cakes. I was in property management and I've worked in retail and I've worked in restaurants. Being a bakery owner, we get to celebrate all of the happy moments in your life. And it's so rewarding, unlike anything else that I've ever done.
Right.
So our moments are always happy.
That's nice. When I kind of started out with my business, it was wedding makeup. And I love being part of people's wedding.
Yeah.
It's just
The biggest day
happy
of their life.
moments. And what's been one of the biggest challenges of running a bakery?
I would say just running a business as a whole. I don't think it's necessarily bakery, although with the natural disasters that this area has faced over the last few years, I think running any business is difficult, specifically COVID and the hurricane. When things like that happen, events don't happen.
Right.
And we're a very tourist based business.
Right.
So when we have weddings that are canceled and events that are canceled,
Yeah.
it really affects our day to day.
Yeah.
This affects every business.
Right.
But specifically ours, where we really strive on the tourism.
Yeah.
So when we don't have tourism or the tourism goes downhill, it affects us largely.
And I applaud you for not only surviving what this area has gone through in the past 5, 6 years, but thriving and growing through it. You should be applauded and rewarded for that, especially because it's not a necessary thing for a lot of people.
This is
canceled.
this will be the last thing on the to-do list.
Any lessons you learned along the way that you didn't expect that you'd like to share with our listeners? So pick two.
I am a true believer in not to have a backup plan. Jumping without a net, jumping without that sense of security. And it's terrifying, but it also gives you no option to fail. So either you shut up or put up.
I love that.
So I'm a firm believer in that. I also am a firm believer in, for fellow business owners, we work so hard and throughout my kids growing up, I've missed so much, right? As a business owner, because we put the level of success up here, and that's what we're always striving for. But at the end of the day, it's not about that.
No.
It's about all those moments that I've missed.
And the next question I was going to ask you is what keeps you motivated, especially on the long days?
My children, for sure. Yeah, my family. I have a 20-year-old son. He's away at college. And then I have a 17-year-old daughter. She's about ready to finish high school. Yeah, they're the motivation. They're what keeps the doors open and the lights on.
So what's next for Lady Cakes?
Yeah, it's a great question. It depends on the day of the week. I really would love to somehow find a way to share what I've learned with up and coming business owners or cake decorators or just the community as a whole. And I'm molding a couple of ideas of what that might look like over the next few years.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
So I was going to ask you, what does supporting local mean to you? So it sounds like you've got some give back ideas in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's sort of selfish if we live our entire lives and we learn all of these tools and then we keep them to ourselves and not share them
Mhm.
with the next generation that are trying just as hard as we did. So I find
Gives
it,
me goosebumps.
yeah, I find
Yeah.
it motivating and inspiring to share with them in hopes that I can lessen their struggle just a little.
So, any upcoming flavors, offerings, or exciting plans? Anything you'd want to share that gives you a little promo?
Yeah. So at our new location on Cape Coral Parkway, we are doing monthly or quarterly events depending on the seasons.
Okay.
Our next event coming up is a blood drive. So we're having a community
Okay.
blood drive
Great.
in March. The big red bus will be here March 10th, and we'll be accepting appointments for the blood mobile.
Mhm.
We'll also be doing in March St. Patty's Day event, cookie decorating here at the
Oh,
bakery.
fun.
Yeah, so we're starting to do cookie decorating events to welcome in locals, and you can learn how to do your own cookie decorating, and we just have a fun time.
Lady Cakes is such a great example of passion, creativity, and small knit community coming together. I really thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
If you have an idea for another local business in Cape Coral that I could interview that you think all my viewers and all of our friends and family and everybody in the community would be interested in, please share it with me.